Welcome to a new video. In this video, I wanted to take everybody through my experience of building into a MO-RA IV 400 radiator. It's a big upgrade over what I previously had, and it's massive. It's a replacement, currently a little bit overkill because it will only cool a CPU with it, and it replaces this radiator, a 360, which is, even though it's 60 millimeters thick, it's nothing compared to the MO-RA. So I will go through what I'm doing, what I thought about, and what my experience is. Also going to give a few results of the performance difference, and hopefully there will be some information in here which other people maybe don't mention as much. So here's the first look at it outside the box, and this is the previous radiator. So the MO-RA should handle everything with ease. So luckily you get a bracket for the 200 millimeter fans, but the first thing you have to do when you get any radiator basically is to properly flush it. There's some residue from manufacturing, and there are some particles, and you have to flush it properly first. You cannot or should not do that with normal water. You should use at least distilled water or something a little bit better. And there are some formulas and liquids you can use to clean that radiator up a little bit better. In my case, I'm gonna use EK's a loop cleaner. It's specially designed for cleaning loops. It's very useful to have stuff like this. Don't have to use that brand, you can use anything. And I'll put some distilled water into it. Then I'm gonna close the ports and properly shake and make sure that the water flows everywhere properly, and flush it 1 or 2 times properly. Once this is inside, it will get bubbly. So when it stops being bubbly, when I drain it, I'll consider it somewhat clean. It's better than doing nothing, but something has to be done. Okay, I flushed the MO-RA and I've installed the feet. And what you need is also an M3 screw, corkscrew. Without that, you cannot install the fans. They provide 12 bolts, but you need this tool in order to install it. So I installed the reservoir, which was pretty straightforward, and the 2 pumps. I chose Vio pumps. The idea was that I have a function at the back to regulate the speed, and I tried to hide all the cables in here. I was kind of hoping I could close it back, but this hole is unfortunately too small even for the power cable. It will be powered over a 12-volt adapter, so no connection to the computer whatsoever. Here is the fan cable, so I have to mount back the bottom part and check back when the fans are installed. We'll see how that looks. Okay, the feed is back on. Here's the power connector for the fans. Looks good. Doesn't look even that bad. I mean, if you're not filming from the wrong angle, like I won't be able to see anything from the front. And even this doesn't look that bad. Just maybe still use a zip tie somewhere here. It's not gonna be bad. Okay, pretty much everything is done except I can't connect the power supply for the fans. Unfortunately, this bracket has a female connector, and it should be the other way around, right? Because the power connection is this one, on the motherboard or on the fan controllers or whatever. So if I flip it around, I'm stuck with the male connection. So I need female to female, I guess. Oh, female to female extension cable. Okay, I got my extension cable. It's a female to female connector, and I just quickly wanted to test if it runs on the external PSU. So everything runs fine. Unfortunately, I did make an error when I ordered these fans. They are a high pressure or high fan speed fans. The usual ones are 800 RPM. I ordered, unfortunately, the 1200 RPM ones, which is okay because it gives me headroom. But I did have to install some physical limiters on it. MC7 or something like that is the Noctua connector called. I installed them here for each fan. Now they're spinning at like 800, 900 RPM, which is fine. It's plenty. The radiator is huge. So the MO-RA is now prepared. Cable is rerouted for the fan. This is now the cable management for the two pumps. Cables I tried to hide at the back. The two pumps are set to setting number 3, which should be a little bit over 3000 RPMs, plenty. And this is the only power connector I have. So that was the plan, to have a standalone system. But I did initially plan to put this back on to hide all the cables here. Unfortunately, not possible, because I thought I could just put this cable through, but unfortunately the hole is not big enough. The rest of the cables I hid as much as I could. This is now also hidden. So this is the situation before we changed the radiators. Currently I have a suspected water temperature of about 28-29 degrees Celsius. Room temperature is about 22-23 degrees. And I just started the computer, so it's still heating up slightly. When it reaches normalized level, I'll start Cinebench and I'll see where the water temperature gets to. So the CPU is gonna go over 300 watts. It is overclocked, so I set it up to the peak cores, to 2 peak cores being at 5.6 gigahertz. The E cores are at 4.5 gigahertz. I did limit it in the BIOS to 285 watt maximum, but it does go over. And we have temperatures here right now. Still the water cooling. Water cooling is now pretty low because I've turned up the fans to the maximum. Pump is at 3000 RPM. It's a D5 pump. So basically this is as ideal of a situation as I could have for a starting point. The water temperature is about 4 or 5 degrees above ambient. And we'll start Cinebench. We'll see. So where we're at. So Cinebench is running. The pump is speeding up as it's supposed to. Fans are already at maximum, and the wattage, as you can see, is at 250, 280 watts. Temperatures are still nice, but eventually the water temperature is supposed to rise, which is already happening. I'll jump to the conclusion when Cinebench is running about 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, something like that. Next check back. Cinebench has been running for about 25 minutes. performance has stayed around 34,000 points, 35,000 points as it's supposed to. Still running. Temperatures are now pretty flat. Same with the water temperature. It's not been moving, slightly going down, 32.1, 32.2. Fans, pumps, nothing is changing. It's still not thermal throttling, thank God. But it did detect once apparently the 91 degrees, but one of the peak cores, but a peak course in general. But otherwise it stayed pretty flat. E-course in the 70s. Package temperature has risen slightly, but it's about 85, 86 degrees, 87 degrees. Power is also around 300 watts. It's supposed to be. It seems to have peaked like at 320 watts. So the wattage load is heavy. So about 300 watts should be now cooled. Nothing changed anywhere else. So room temperature is about 23 degrees Celsius. I hope that's accurate. I hope it fits. The water temperature as I started up is at 25 degrees, so +2 delta, but it's about to rise. I'll let it stabilize and then I'll start benchmarking with Cinebench. Fans have all been set to like 800 RPM. Like I said, the pumps are now at 3,000, so they're not maxed out by any stretch of the imagination. But basically I wanted to use even less RPM on the fans, but I decided against it because I can't hear the pumps. So I figured it doesn't matter. The fans are just too noisy anyways. 20 minutes later, everything hopefully stabilized to some extent. Water temperature is 26 degrees. Clocks, nothing has changed. Same exact settings. And we'll test a 30-minute stress test with Cinebench. Okay, a little bit over 20 minutes has passed. The room temperature increased to 24 degrees Celsius apparently. CPU is still under load. Standard wattage as it is expected. Let's check the water temperature first. That's at 29 degrees Celsius. So about +5 on the delta. Maybe it will keep rising a little bit, but it's not really that important at this point, I think, whether it's 29 or 29.2 or 3. It's not moving up really, and if it is, it's moving very slowly. Performance has remained at about 35,000 points as it's supposed to. Let's check out the temperatures in detail. So one core reached 84 degrees Celsius. Most is stable. It's like it's just expected to be. No changes. And Cinebench has been running for 22 minutes. Slight increase again in temperature. The MO-RA has about 2.2, 2.5 liters of water inside. So it takes a long time before it even dips a little bit. So it's fairly flat. There's nothing really changing. And that's Cinebench, so it's pretty stressful for the CPU. The CPU is overclocked too, so, but still, like, it's nothing for the MO-RA. So it is basically the standalone system I wanted to have. Right now it's only cooling the CPU. The graphics card will get upgraded eventually with water cooling. That will add about 300 watts more, maybe 400 or 500 watts more in heat, but that should be perfectly fine. Like there's no indication that the MO-RA couldn't handle that, and because it's not connected to the computer on any level, I think it's gonna work just as I intended. It's gonna run pretty much 24/7. The idea was that it's a standalone system, but I do not have to worry with it. The fans run for 15,000 hours, or whatever the case may be, or 150,000 hours, or whatever the specs are. So they will be running for years to come, and the same is true for the pumps. Even if they run 24/7, the pumps will run, I think 15 years as far as I Googled. So I think I'm gonna replace the MO-RA before I have to do anything beyond that. And it's supposed to be so low noisy that I do not know that it's even running. So it's just as I hoped. Like, there's few minor problems with it. I think the biggest issue was the fan cable, that the back side had a male connector instead of a female one. So I had to buy a female to female PWM cable. That was the issue. And the second issue was that I bought the wrong fans. If I had the stock 800 RPM fans, that would have been even better. I think even with the resistors I have installed now, I'm now at 850, 900 RPM, something like that. I don't know. It is a little bit overkill to have that many RPMs for just the CPU. The entire MO-RA and the entire water cooling setup is overkill, but it was meant to just keep the system running, and it was meant for many years to come. So I'm happy. Still works fine, and still no performance dip, no temperature spikes, nothing. Like, it is just wonderful. Like, I saw 90s before. It's unbelievable, actually. And I didn't change anything.